A grandmother is behind bars after attacking family members on Thanksgiving Day in Southwest Memphis. Good evening, I'm Mandy Rock. Daryl Green and Darcy Thomas have the evening off. This all happened on Delta Road around 3 this afternoon. Fox 13 Sierra Jordan breaks down the moments leading up to this incident.
Police say a grandmother stabbed 2 of her family members after a verbal argument happened inside their home on Delta Road. The neighbors I spoke with were shocked to find crime scene tape blocking off their street as they were celebrating Thanksgiving with their loved ones.
And it's just kind of unfortunate to have to go through this on Thanksgiving Day.
James Stevens and his family were enjoying their Thanksgiving Day meal until they were interrupted by the sound of sirens coming from outside.
And we come outside to see all the yellow tape around. Got the street blocked off down there.
Those sirens were police responding to an aggravated assault at a home on Delta Road just after 3 p.m. Police say a woman and her mother were arguing about various things, including the suspect pushing her son. Then police say the grandmother attacked her with a knife she got from the kitchen. The victim suffered abrasions to her left hand. Just moments later, the suspect then struck her grandson with a knife in his left hand near his thumb. That is when the grandmother ran away from the scene before officers arrived.
The violence around Memphis is still very high. It's just, you have to watch yourself on every corner, and right here in our own home and neighborhoods, family getting together, family, friends, feasting, never this.
Now, Memphis police say the grandmother was heavily intoxicated and possibly drinking at the time of the incident. They say she is now in custody. In Memphis, Sierra Jordan, Fox 13 News.
Now to an ongoing investigation in West Houston. HPD investigators say a mother and her child are found dead inside an apartment. Police now confirming the suspect is related to the victims. Brittany Jeffers is at that scene after speaking with detectives and residents.
We've learned from police on the scene that the suspect in this case is the victim's brother. There's many people out here today who have been very visibly upset after they learned this woman, a mother, and her young daughter were killed. Investigators say there was a call about a disturbance here, and a family member then flagged down police patrolling in the neighborhood. Officers say that when they arrived, a man stepped out of the apartment and then was detained because police say they saw blood. The man's sister and his niece's bodies were discovered inside. Neighbors were very emotional this morning and told me this was tough information to hear the morning after Thanksgiving.
The person that's supposed to love them and protect them and hurt them, for whatever reason, they're gone. They're gone, man.
Now, one resident did not want to go on camera, but he explained what he saw overnight.
I saw them when they brought the guy downstairs, and he was kind of yelling and screaming, just kind of talking crazy, and that's why I thought it was maybe a family fight, you know, from being drunk or something from after Thanksgiving, but I never would imagine that. That's a nice woman. Our baby is just starting life.
Now, at this point, we do not know the cause of death, and officers tell me they're actively working to get a search warrant for the apartment. I'm Brittany Jeffers, KPRC 2 News.
Opera newscast off tonight, hearing from the family after a tragic murder in Mobile. A woman accused of shooting her ex-boyfriend and both her parents, killing her father. We've learned the father was a well-known pastor in Mobile, Robert Matthews. Charity Matthews pleaded not guilty today in court. Fox News reporter Ariel Mallory joins me now. And Ariel, you spoke with someone speaking, I should say, on behalf of the Matthews family. This has been extremely difficult, they say.
Yeah, it really has, Shelby, and family members tell me that's why they can't speak right now, because it is just too difficult, and they describe this whole experience as a living nightmare. But there is a good update to share. I'm told that the mother, Twinetta Matthews, is doing well as she recovers in the hospital. And we went by Pastor Matthews' church today, and I'm told he was an outstanding leader, a man of God and husband. And right now, the family is relying on their faith to get through this.
Stay strong, and I'm praying for you guys to have peace, and that God gives you peace that surpasses all understanding. And I know that they'll be okay.
These last 4 days have been unimaginable for the Matthews family after a deadly shooting Sunday night in Mobile. Several MPD officers responded to a home on Avonlea Court shortly before 8 o'clock. They found Robert Matthews dead. His wife, Twanetta Matthews, also shot and rushed to the hospital. Close family friend Siobhan Buchanan says she heard about the shooting on the news and couldn't believe when she found out it was them.
When I found out it was the Matthews family, there really are no words. Something that you would never expect. It's almost like living in a nightmare, only because they are such a great family.
Hours later, the victim's daughter, Charity Matthews, was arrested and charged with murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, and reckless endangerment. Police say she also shot towards her brother and shot her ex-boyfriend, Samson Moore. Buchanan says she grew up knowing Charity and can't imagine what led up to this.
I know Charity was a loving person. I know she carried love in her heart. I know that she's seen a lot, been through a lot, just from personal conversations that I would not share. There just are no words. I love her and I'm praying for her as well.
Robert Matthews was a well-known pastor in Mobile at Joy Tabernacle on Ann Street. Buchanan says he was known as Fun Daddy and his wife as Mama Net, who have been married for almost 50 years. As they try to work through this tragedy, she says the family is staying strong.
They are a family that is strong believers and know the power of God. And in Mama Net's voice, all is well.
Yeah, just a truly heartbreaking story, Shelby. Now, Charity Matthews will appear in court for an Anaya's Law hearing next week. The state has filed a motion to keep her in jail on no bond. We're certainly praying with their family.
Absolutely. Very tragic story, Ariel. Thank you.
First of all praises to the Father Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakadash. Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers and sisters in recognition to observing this day for worshiping the Most High. Sundown this evening to sundown tomorrow evening. My people, let's get some rest, worship, and praises into the Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because after all, it is a commandment throughout all of our dwellings, regardless of what state of people and state of mind that we are in this day and age. That's for those of us that know. Now that last case right there with Charity Matthews is a real bummer because, the news clips didn't go into detail about the state of mind that woman was in other than just mental illness. Like they always do, blame, bizarre situations, crimes that take place on people. They just say mental illness. They like to, pass it off. But when you find some of the stories, on the internet about that particular case with Charity Matthews, some go into detail about Charity Matthews accused her father and her mother of being demons and worshiping demons. And that's the reason why she shot her parents the way she did. And also her boyfriend, she called her baby daddy just one big giant demon. You understand? That's the reason why she said that she did these things. She said that her mother was basically praying the demons to do something to her baby and to her, and that's the reason why she carried out those tragic events on her family. You understand? Okay? And then, of course, over the pagan holiday, you have those two situations with the grandmother, stabbing her daughter and harming, her own grandchild. Then with the other case with the brother, it's alleged to be the brother who actually took out his sister and his baby niece, you see. Now, it's like I said before, a lot of these situations are not mental illness. Then again, maybe you can call them mental illness because, see, whenever demons infiltrate a person, they will drive a person crazy. So I guess it's a little bit of both. But let's talk about the main cause of what's happening, what's happening here. You see. Now, I'm sure a lot of you people can see the spirit that's on the wall at the end of the staircase. Of course, some of you that's been riding with me for a while know that I like watching Country Wayne skits. Okay? I happen to be watching this skit right here, and I seen this giant spirit at the end of the staircase. So I decided to go ahead and snap a picture of it. You understand? And put it into my archives, my collection. I have so many of them, you see. And I take pictures of them because, number one, I'm fascinated by just being able to see these things and how a lot of people don't. And I'm not saying that this is a demon right here, because I'm not sure. I don't know. But there are some I've seen that I know that are definitely demons. Okay, I know for a fact that they were, you know what I mean, just because of the description and what have you. But then there are some spirits that they look just like, people, men. So I'm not really sure, because some of them could be even angels, okay? But the thing is this: possession is on the rise, and a lot of people are out here possessed and don't even know it. People that our family, friends, what have you, can see a difference in these people and just basically chalk it up to be, oh, don't pay that no attention. That's just the way they is. They've been tripping lately, Then all of a sudden, the person go off and do something just totally out of character. You see what I mean? Then it gets passed off as being mentally ill. But see, this is what we got to understand, and this is what we got to start doing to prepare for things like this. The Most High, Yahweh, and his son's name, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, you understand, is the only key to being sheltered from these evil spirits. You have to pray. But what we're going to do today, before we get into the actual lesson, because we're going to talk about spirits, and the effect that they have. But the spirit of the Prince of Mastema, okay, and the meaning. But first, before we get into that, and also we're going to get into the Book of Jubilees. The Book of Jubilees was one of the main books that was in the Apocrypha before the wicked ones removed it, because the wicked ones removed these books, okay, out of the the whole entire Apocrypha, from the Bible, simply because it exposed them and who they are and who they come from and what they come from. Okay, that's basically the reason why they did it in the first place. And then so other people, there's been other writers, authors that will basically rewrite these books, like Jubilees, Jasher, the Book of Enoch, and what have you. And what the enemy would do is turn around and say, these books are pseudepigrapha, meaning they have no validity to the things that are written in them. It's just fairy tales and fables. But it's a lie, because I know for a fact for myself, these books are based off the actual books that was in the Apocrypha. You see what I'm saying? So that's the one way the enemy try to cover up his lies and say, you can write the book all you want, but we're going to pass it off as being, a fraud, and you're different. You're not the original writer, so it's called pseudepigrapha. Okay. Now, first, let's go through Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. Yahweh Shai says here, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay. Iniquity is sin, and surely sin is. We are saturated in sin. People like me and you that has repented are on a raft of water full of sin. Okay, that's basically what that boils down to. So the hearts of many is wax cold. When your heart wax cold, meaning you just say shut down, and like a lot of people just say F it. You understand what I mean? Anything goes. When you make that decision right there, guess what happens? A demon already knows you are his next hotel that he's going to lay up in, or they're going to lay up in. And that's basically what it all boils down to. Now, over here in James chapter 4, verse 7, it reads, "Submit yourself therefore to Yahweh. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you." Okay? This is what we got to do. You have to not get that mindset of F it, anything goes. Because when you do, the devil got you. He's got you. Okay? Let me see here. Well, let's just start right here. What we just read, I'm going to read it again, verse 7. James chapter 4, verse 7. "Submit yourselves therefore to Yahweh, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh," which is near, "to Yahweh, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up." This is what it says. You understand? When you cleanse your hands, and purify your hearts, that's like repenting. Okay? When you do this, you are going to come into knowledge of things that are actually going on around you. It's going to turn your laughter into mourning. Okay? That's what that boils down to. Your joy will become heavy because you're going to get into reality as what you are actually in. Okay? Now let's go over here in 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. And it reads, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." Be sober. This just don't have anything to do with, just drinking and just, you don't want to be a drunkard or anything like that. Be vigilant. Stay on guard. You see, because the evil forces are there to try to get into you or to take you out, however way it works. But be sober means to actually stay in a righteous frame of mind. It ain't got nothing to do with just having drinks or anything like that. But I'm just saying, a righteous state of mind is to be sober. That's the only way you can be vigilant, in other words, on guard as well. One thing leads to another. Now, let's talk about the Prince of Mastema here. The Prince of Mastema is in the book of Jubilees, okay? Which is one of the books I was talking about. That's in the Apocrypha that the enemy removes. Now, it says here, the Prince of Mastema refers to a figure in Jewish mystical tradition, specifically from the Dead Sea Scrolls in the book of Jubilees, who is considered the leader of evil spirits, essentially representing the personification of hatred or hostility. The word Mastema itself meaning enmity or persecution in Hebrew. Therefore, the Prince of Mastema is essentially the ruler of negativity and malicious forces. Okay? That's your Prince of Mastema right there. Okay? He's at the head of all of these negative forces. You understand? And look, we come across people that's full of the Prince of Mastema, if you understand what I mean. I know a lot of them are related to, and I don't have anything to do with these people. They're very envious, jealous-hearted, they're malicious. You know what I mean? There's always something with them, and they get on your nerves so bad to where they can drive you to the point of madness yourself. So what you got to do, cut them off. Because if you don't, they can take you down, because that's one of their prime examples. That's what they want to do. That's their mission at that particular time in their life. Because the hatred, which is derived from envy, you know what I mean, and what have you, is what puts them on this destructive path to try to get at you. That's basically what it all boils down to. Now, over here in the book of Jubilees, it's just so much of this as we're going to read. But it says here, the book of Jubilees, chapter 10, unclean demons begin to lead the sons of Noah astray. And in the third week of this Jubilee, the unclean demons began to lead astray the children of the sons of Noah, and to make to err and destroy them. Okay? And the sons of Noah came to Noah, their father, and they told him concerning the demons, which were leading astray and blinding and slaying his sons. And he prayed before Yahweh, his sovereign ruler, and said, it says Yahweh, but we're saying Yahweh. Yahweh of the spirits of all flesh, who have shown mercy unto me, and have saved me and my sons from the waters of the flood, and have not caused me to perish, as you did the sons of perdition. For your free, unmerited pardon has been great towards me, and great has been your mercy to my soul. Let your free, unmerited pardon be lifted up upon my sons, and let not wicked spirits rule over them, lest they should destroy them from the earth. See, a lot of people, these wicked spirits are ruling over them. You see what I mean? They're ruling over and ruling them, and they're destroying them. And they're destroying people that are around them as well. This is what their sole mission in life to do. I'm telling you, if you see the signs of this with a relative or so-called friend, you know, the record just keeps scratching, take the record off, discard it, and move on for your own good. Keep these people from away from around you until they get some spiritual help. Okay? Let's continue. Verse 4, but do you bless me and my sons, that we may increase and multiply and replenish the earth. And you know how your watchers, the fathers of these spirits, okay? Those watchers that you're talking about, this is talking about is the fallen angels, the fallen ones, okay? Acted in my day. And as for these spirits which are living, imprison them and hold them fast in the place of condemnation, and let them not bring destruction on the sons of your servant, my sovereign ruler. For these are malignant and created in order to destroy. And let them not rule over the spirits of the living, for you alone can exercise dominion over them. And let them not have power over the sons of the righteous from henceforth and forevermore. And Yahweh, our sovereign ruler, bade us to bind all. See, when you bind, you have to bind in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's the power that he's given us over them, unclean spirits. Verse 8, and the chief of the spirits of Mastema came and said, Yahweh, Creator, let some of them remain before me, and let them listen to my voice, and do all that I shall say unto them. For if some of them are not left to me, I shall not be able to execute the power of my will on the sons of men. You hear the nerve of the spirit? To continue, for these are the corruption and leading astray before my judgment, for great is the wickedness of the sons of men. And he said, let the 10th part of them remain before him, and let 9 parts descend into the place of condemnation. So the 10th part is still here on this earth. And they could be the same ones that these pictures I'll be seeing. Who knows? It's so many of them. Okay? But the 9 parts basically are in what you call, you know, Hades, hell, or whatever. Okay? To continue, verse 10, and one of us he commanded that we should teach Noah all their medicines. For he knew that they would not walk in uprightness, nor strive in righteousness. Excuse me, let me read that again. For he knew that they would not walk in unrighteous. Well, it says uprightness, okay? Nor strive in righteousness, okay? Verse 11, and we did accordingly to all his words, all the malignant evil ones we bound in the place of condemnation, and a 10th part of them we left that they may be subject before Satan on the earth. Okay? And we explained to Noah all the medicines of their diseases, together with their seductions, how he might heal them with herbs of the earth. Okay? Verse 13, and Noah wrote down all things in a book, as we instructed him, concerning every kind of medicine. Thus the evil spirits were precluded from hurting the sons of Noah. Okay? So the Most High gave Noah the knowledge of how to bind these things, and even herbs, you understand, to purge these things out of a person as well. Okay? Now here in Ephesians, we're going to go over in 6:13, and it reads, this is what we got to do, people. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Okay? That's like talking about putting on the gospel armor. The word. You see what I mean? You got to do that. See, because if you don't, you're going to get tooken. You're going to get tooken. Okay? I think I got time to read this. Let me see. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand in the day of evil, in the evil day, that is, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Okay? That's what we got to do, people. That's the whole driving force into protecting yourself from things like this. That's if this is a malicious, evil spirit, you know, of those giants and wicked, evil things that died in Noah's day in that flood. Okay? Just saying. That's all I got on this lesson, people. I hope you found the lesson edifying, and I hope I said something to stimulate your spiritual growth. All praise to the Father Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakadash. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.